Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have the Series 17 full review, all 16 figures here today. And start off quick by looking at the little leaflet that comes with them. You can see all 16 figures on here, and probably be a whole lot easier if I zoomed out. But there is a figure on here or a feature on here which is special to Series 17, and that is the mystery figure. It doesn't actually show you one of the figures on the leaflet, but it shows the silhouette. And on the back, it shows you how to build a couple of the more difficult to assemble ones. However, it doesn't even show you how to attach the weapon for the space guy. And same with the hammer for the dwarf, but whatever. And also the butterfly girl's on there. But overall, it's a pretty cool series, or pretty cool looking series. Let's see if it stacks up to the expectations. Obviously, you would be getting one of these packages, which contains one of these 16 figures, and it's similar design and packaging to the older series. So, let's take a look at each of these figures individually. Alright, so we're going to follow the order of the pamphlet, and first on there is the surfer guy. And this figure is likely going to fly under the radar of some people, because it's not the first surfer minifigure that has been done. There's not a whole lot that is super special about him, but I think that he was done pretty well for what he is, His surfboard is a brand new print, and I believe it's also a new color, but that might not be true. And you can see it has a shark design on it, which looks really cool. And with the color and everything, it's kind of reminiscent of the Series 15 shark suit guy. But I think that face and everything looks really neat. So, the figure itself, though, without that, is relatively plain. It does have this hairpiece, which I actually didn't have. This is the Luke Skywalker hairpiece, so this is nice for me to get, and nice for people who don't collect Star Wars sets, probably, but, for anyone who has a Luke Skywalker, that's not going to be super special. They didn't even make a new color or anything, it is just the same old piece. The face is really nice, though. Got some nice stubble, and you don't get you don't get this kind of facial hair too often, so that's pretty cool, actually. The torso print, looks pretty standard, like a little standard wetsuit. I like the logo there, kind of nice and red. That's the same logo they usually use for surfers and Coast Guard stuff and stuff like that, or divers, I guess. But I like how this one's in solid red. But the really cool thing about this guy is his arm printing for the little wetsuit, and that's just some cool detail. No back print or anything, and the other arm also looks, pretty much the same, just mirrored. But I think that is a really nice touch, and that is what is going to set this guy, at the level above the previous surfers. There is no leg printing, which is kind of a shame, but I think with the design of the wetsuit that they were going for, it worked well enough, but definitely a highlight is the surfer. Number 2 here is the Circus Strongman. I'm not going to spend too much time going over him, because he's relatively plain. He does have this nice new mold, which is 2 balls on the rod. However, they could have just used 2 of the Technic ball pieces with a bar in the middle, and I think that would have been, just as effective. But, appreciate the new molding nonetheless. However, I believe it was a missed opportunity, because if they'd made these ball joint sized, then he would have had some interesting connections possible there. The torso is kind of got that, classic Circus Strongman kind of style there, but it does look good for what it is. There we go. And I like the nice big belt there. There's the back print on the torso. He does have the mustache piece, and that's nice. And he looks very different without the mustache on there, similar to the Mexican guy, or the mariachi guy from Series 16. A very different look without the mustache. And the legs are pretty good. They got some nice dual molding, and it's a little bit unfortunate that the print color doesn't match up exactly with the color of the like light plastic, like the light yellowish orange plastic. But I think that it's nice that they got the patterns going there, and the boots give them a good look. So I do think that they did a decent job with this figure, but it's not one of my favorites. But, you know, let's move on. Number 3 is the Pastry Chef, or Gourmet Chef, or whatever you want to call her. And she's actually really, really nicely done. She has this nice pie piece, which has the strawberry print. But other than that, it is on the same color cream as the old clown. It would have been nice to get maybe like a brown cream or whatever, I don't know, to represent kind of like chocolate cream or whatever, you know. I think that would have been nice, but the strawberries are nice. They're a little cartoony looking, but I think they look good. The other accessory she gets is a whisk, which is a new mold, and it's not a rubbery piece. It's nice and hard plastic. And the rest of the figure, actually I guess there's one more, you know, cool thing. But she got this nice chef's hat with a bun dual molded onto it. And I think that's nice, especially how it fits on that angle. She does have 2 facial expressions, so she has that one, and she has this one, which with the hair looks like that. I like this one better personally, but that's just me. Or I guess probably not just me. I guess there's probably other people too, but you know, you understand. And the torso print is pretty simple, but I like the nice little details for the cuffs on the torsos or on the arms. But the back print is not there. There's no back print. And she does have a little printing on the hips to continue that. So I think that that's a good detail. Not necessarily one that adds a ton, but just, you know, shows that they were trying to make it a little bit more unique and just a little bit. Fourth is one that we can kind of fly right over because he is the corn cob guy. But he's really self-explanatory. He has no printing on the front or back of the torso. The face print is good, but nothing super exceptional that makes it worth buying the figure for. Obviously, the only thing you're paying for is this corn cob piece. And they did a good job with it, and I think it looks really nice. I really like how this is a lighter, like the bright light green, and this is regular green. I think that that's a good move. But overall, just, you know, that's pretty much what it is, a guy in a corn costume. And there's really nothing else for me to elaborate on. Alright, so here is the vet, and she is another kind of figure that is a standard, really, you know, average everyday appearance in a city, but we haven't gotten any vets before, at least as minifigures, really, that I can remember. Maybe in like the 80s sets there was some sort of attempt at a vet. But first and foremost, she does come with this new bunny mold, which is cool because it has normal printing for like a Not Friends bunny, so that's cool. I like the ears on there, but it would have been nice if they were both facing forward, or more forward than they are. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. I like the little tail, and I think that it is in a good scale with the figure. So that's pretty cool. The legs have that one little badge, which, you know, kind of makes it vet specific, but other than that, she could just be a normal doctor, really. Which we don't get too many medical figures either, at least in recent years. In the city theme or anything, they would be normal figures. I like the stethoscope printed on there, and you can see it kind of has the cord that goes around the back. That's what that is. And she just has some details for her nice little outfit there, and dual molded arms, which are good, or which is good. And her face is pretty simple, but again, exclusive like all CMF faces. And she has a brand new hairpiece, which is in this nice light nougat color. And it's similar to the Trendsetter's hair from the front, but it has nothing going over the back, so it is a little bit more interesting of a look, kind of more unique of a piece. So I think that that looks good, and definitely another nice figure in the collection. But it would have been nice to get another accessory, like a, I don't know, a syringe like they usually do with doctor figures, like with the surgeon, or, you know, something else. Well, this hot dog vendor is one of the most interesting figures in the series to me. He does have this, whatever they're called from the Simpsons series, it was introduced there. But this is in a new color. There's white and clear. I guess they all had the clear, but this is in white. And that's pretty cool to get this nice drink cup. And he also comes with a hot dog to serve. And this is actually a new color of sausage piece with the new 2016 hot dog bun, which is the cheapest appearance of this part to date. But I really like the dark red hot dog. I think that looks pretty good, especially, you know, for an all-beef hot dog or whatever. That's pretty accurate. And you have this nice tray piece, which is new to him. And he can hold it from the bottom like he was before, or he can hold it in his hands like that. And there are no studs on it, so you do have to balance the two foods, but there is a little bit of a lip around the edge, so it does kind of help a little bit with balancing. But we're going to get rid of those, and you can see his hat is the butcher's hat from Series 6, but he also has printing all the way around. And the apron looks really nice as well. No dual molding, which makes sense because it's an apron. So that's good. And he has a relatively un-hot dog selling specific torso. Nice bow tie and a little pin there. And there's the back. And he kind of reminds me of the pizza delivery guy with the nice young looking face. And all in all, just a good looking figure, I think. And definitely is made a bit better by the addition, or inclusion, I should say, of these two, you know, relatively uncommon accessories. This is the butterfly girl, and she is relatively simple as well at first glance. She has this nice flower stem piece in lime green, which I think is a new color, and those flowers, she does come with the extra fourth flower. This hair is Wild Style's hair in yellow, or in this bright light yellow color, which I believe we've gotten before with the Friends figure, but this has new printing on there, so that's cool. The face has a nice flower sticker or tattoo or whatever, and the torso has a nice butterfly shirt. Legs have a little bit of printing for the shoes, but this is the big part. There's nothing on the back print, but this butterfly wing mold looks really nice in the light translucent pink color. It looks really good from the front because the print is, you know, on the other side of the transparency. From the back it looks a little different because the colors are a little brighter and more clearly printed, but I think that from the front it looks really, really good. From the back it also does look good. I just prefer the look from the front a little bit more. And I think that the shaping and everything is really nice, and this is, all in all, just a really, really well done figure. So let's just get those flowers back in her hand and move on to the next guy. Alright, this figure is the Gladiator, and he comes with a trident, so he's a different type of Gladiator than the one that we got in Series 5. He has some decent detailing on the legs. They're dual molded, but I wish that they were printed on the side as well for this top section, because it just looks a little weird the way it is. But I think that it is forgivable, because it wouldn't have had that much side printing anyway. It does have print on the front of the torso with this little strap that goes over and the muscles underneath, and then the strap continues around the back. There is a little glove printed upwards onto the arm and the other arm, as well as this cool little lion symbol printed on the dual molded gold part, which looks really, really nice. And the face is rather average, just a stern face with some stubble. But this hairpiece is Finn's hairpiece from the Force Awakens set in a dark brown color, so that is a new color, but it looks really good. And the trident's not new or anything, but yeah. Let's move on to the next figure. This here is another plain civilian looking figure at first glance, but he does include this really, really nice French Bulldog mold, which is cool to get another exclusive animal, so 2 brand new animals in this series. I like the print on that front there. I think that looks good, and the shaping overall looks really nice as well. And it does fit onto 2 studs. It doesn't fit facing forward very well. It's very easy for it to fall off, but it is possible. So I prefer to just keep it like that for the most part. But it does come with this baguette piece, and it is in the less common light nougat color, not in the just tan. But the figure itself looks pretty good. I like the French expression, stereotypical French expression. I like the beret, and he does have these lines printed all the way across his torso, as well as a little neck scarf thing. And the lines do go nicely onto his arms as well, both of them. So that's pretty cool, but he doesn't have any leg printing. So I feel like he is a nice figure, and he is definitely useful in just a regular city setting, but it's, you know, he's nothing super duper special without that Bulldog piece. So I think that that was a really nice choice to make. And this guy, the Battle Dwarf, I think wins the prize for impressing me the most in this entire series. When the first pictures were revealed, I was not really looking forward to this guy. He was one of the lower ones on my list, but he is really, really well done. He has this axe, which is the least exciting part about him, but it's not bad at all. It's just a standard axe, so it's nothing super special. But this hammer is something else entirely. It is Mjolnir, but in gunmetal gray, and it has this print on here. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to be, but it looks cool. It looks kind of like a boar thing with a mohawk. And it's also on the other side as well, so it's not just printed on one side, which is really, really cool. And he has this mohawk, which is in this weird reddish-orange color. I'm actually not sure exactly what this color is, or if it actually really exists. The same color continues with the face print, and the beard, which I'm just moving up so that you can see the full amount of the beard print, or the printing. And he has some tattoos on his torso, and that nice belt as well. His arms are dual molded. This one has a tattoo on it, and the back continues the little belt, and the other arm is also dual molded. And the legs are that Simpsons triple molding, except with the dark orange and dark red. So I think that all in all, this is a good looking figure, and works pretty well, and definitely surprised me with the level of detail that was on here. So this is a really cool one in my book. Retro Space Guy is another cool one. He has this new Raygun mold, which is pretty cool. Those holes on the side don't fit any accessories or anything, but they're just for looks. I think that looks really nice. The torso and the legs look good. The legs continue the lines onto the side. The torso continues printing on the arms with the 3 lines, which both the legs and arms are dual molded in sand green and dark bluish gray. That's cool. I really like the neutron, or the atom symbol on the arm, and on the other arm as well. The cape is actually made of a material that feels softer than the regular papery capes, but is a little bit stiffer than the fabric capes, and it's not thick either. So that's cool. There is no back print on the torso, but the front print looks really nice. And I like the face. It's rather competitive. Kind of reminds me of the Gamer Guy from Series 12, but not exactly. And as an added bonus, the helmet is a new mold, and it is dual molded in bright light orange and light bluish gray, and I think it looks fantastic. Really nicely done mold there. So let's move on to the next guy. And this guy here was immediately one of my favorites upon seeing the series. This is the Yuppie, and he is a really rather simple figure as far as Series 17 goes, but he just looks really nice, and from the 80s, so Yuppies. I don't know. That's a interesting 80s slang term that most of you have never heard of. Stands for young upward professional or something like that. Young urban professional. Basically, it's a young guy with money, and yeah. So he has a nice cell phone from the 80s. That's pretty impressive, It has a printed cheese slope, actually, and a printed 1x1 tile, so those are nice pieces to get. And you might be able to find some other good uses for those. You could use this as like a keypad on just about anything, so for a slightly more interesting shape. And it's on one of the new walkie-talkie pieces. Would have been kind of cool if they went with one of the old ones just to be more retro, but obviously they don't have that old mold anymore. And it's got the antenna and everything, and looks good, and definitely is big in relation to him. It's about half his size. But he does have a little bit of leg print but that's rather simple. His sleeves are rolled up, which is cool, nice touch. And he has a pink shirt on underneath his white jacket, and he's got the white pants. And I personally really like his facial expression with the cool sunglasses that are actually orange, but they have bronze printing or copper printing on there to make them kind of shine and stand out a little. I think that was really nicely done as well. And he has the new Superman hair from Batman vs. Superman in black. So, not a rare color, but I think black is a good choice just because it looks really nice with this color scheme and stands out from the white. So, let's move on. And here you go, this is my favorite figure in the series. This is Rocket Boy. And everything about him is really nicely done. From this flag, which is printed on both sides with a classic space logo drawn in crayons, which is really, really awesome. And then he has this awesome rocket mold, which I only wish would have had like a ball joint size ball on the top. I think that would have been really funny if you could just attach things on there. But it has the bolts going all the way around, and it is dual molded, so pretty cool. And when I remove that, you can see he has a classic space torso in gray, which is really, really just a nice touch to throw in there. And his face is pretty neat as well, but nothing super fantastic. And you can see it right through the little rocket porthole. So I think that this is a really cool little figure. Rather simple, but at the same time, got a lot of extra detail that was unnecessary to accomplish what they wanted. So I think that they did a really good job with this one. This is the dance instructor, and she has a little water bottle accessory, one of those refillable water bottles. This is H3O or H2O. I don't know. I don't know where I got the 3 from. It's not heavy water, but it you know, there's a nice logo, I guess, and you got one of these kind of bar / 3.18 insert to stud pieces. An interesting new part from 2016 in white for the first time, and the figure itself has some decent print. Got dual molding on the legs with zebra stripes, which I think they did a good job with those stripes. The torso is relatively snazzy, I guess. Kind of stands out quite a bit. I wish that the arms were the same color, just because it looks a little weird the way it is. But she has the little wristbands and some striking design on there. And she has some sweat and a little headband on the head. And the hair mold is a nice level of detail. I think it looks okay, but it's a little bit weird. It looks very messy. So, you know, it's an alright figure, I think. And this elf Maiden looks like something right out of Lord of the Rings, or Middle Earth, or something like that. She has this nice longer broadsword piece, and this nice shield which is printed with metallic blue, or metallic light blue, and then metallic gold, so it looks really cool. It's on light bluish gray, and the torso and dress piece also have that, you know, that light bluish metallic color on there, and then the silver is also metallic, and down here you have some silver that just, it all blends really nicely, and it all looks really, really neat. When you turn it around and move the angles, it just changes. It's a very interesting look that it has. But the arms also both have this little printing on the dual molding, so it looks good, and you can see same on the other side. But the face is probably the least impressive part, because the hair is also new mold. And it has the ears on the side, or at least I'm pretty sure it's a new mold. Might have been used in Lord of the Rings, but I don't think so. And it's also this really weird color, like really, really, really weird. Because, like the dwarfs, it's not just a standard color. You can see this is a little bit darker. This is like a bright orangey peach color. So I am not sure what kind of color that is. I don't know if I've seen it before. I'm not sure. I have no idea. But it's a weird color. Not that it's bad or anything, it's just something I've never seen. And it has the silver print on the back of that. So, another good figure. And let's move on to the mystery figure. And the Series 17 mystery figure is the Highwayman. He does come with 2 gunmetal gray pistols, which are cool because they only appear with this guy and in the Silent Mary. So this is about $194 or $196 cheaper. So, you know, if you want them, might as well get them here. And does have the tri-cornered hat and a nice ninja mask from the rebooted Waves. And underneath that, there's his face print. You know, nothing super snazzy. But he has this cape with the nice collar pieces. And underneath, the torso print is pretty good. It also has another little collar printed on there. But, you know, it looks pretty good. And he does have print on the legs, which are dual molded, and print on the arms, some nice buttons. So, it looks pretty good, and I think that they did a good job with this guy. However, I don't see why they made him a mystery figure. I think it would have been more exciting if Rocket Boy was the mystery figure, or if I mean, I guess it wouldn't have been as impressive to most people, but I feel like a lot of AFOLs and everything would like the Hot Dog Guy as a mystery figure. The Corn Cob Guy could have been the mystery figure, or the Retro Spaceman. I think that those ones would have been a more popular choice for mystery figure than this guy. It would have made a little bit more sense because they're a little bit more, or they're the ones that would be a little bit more sought after. But it makes sense to keep the sought after ones as kind of more standardly seen figures that people are actively buying figures to look for them. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think that Series 17 overall was a really nice series as a whole. Most of the figures are pretty well done, and I don't think that there are any that I really dislike. There are some that just kind of aren't super impressive, but you know, they still are okay if you look at them kind of objectively, by not considering the you know, source material or anything. I think that the series is pretty good. Introduces some nice pieces and has some nice uncommon pieces, and I think that overall, just some of the better ones are the Hot Dog Guy, the Rocket Boy, the Retro Space Guy, the Yuppie, and the Dwarf is also really nice, even though he's not really my kind of, you know, figure. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys all next time with a review of something else, probably. So, bye everyone.